We got a new IBF champ in the welterweight division. Terence Crawford is no longer the IBF champ. It is now Jaron Boots Ennis. I wonder if they're doing this because, Spence has, had his moments where he could have easily been stripped because of inactivity. Obviously, we know the car wreck, the detached retina obviously caused his absence and, delay of getting back in the ring. So I guess that's more of a valid reason. But Terence Crawford just put on the biggest fight of his life. The biggest performance, the biggest beatdown we've ever seen, where it was a fight that was said to be 50-50, and Terence Crawford went in there and dominated a guy like Errol Spence, who was the truth. Still a tremendous fighter, but obviously when you put two styles together, styles make fights, and when you put the best of the best, sometimes it's a dominating performance, and it was a dominating performance for Terence Crawford. But does he really deserve to be stripped of his IBF title just because he can't, fight his mandatory, as Jaron Boots Ennis is his mandatory, but he locked in for a rematch clause with Errol Spence for making the biggest fight in the world happen? He gets stripped of his title. I don't get why they can't just wait for him to take another fight. And especially with Showtime not being active in the year of 2024, how is Terence Crawford even supposed to fight? They're not even giving him a chance to potentially make that fight with Boots happen. I feel like it's just not fair. I feel like I'm a big Errol Spence fan. You guys know that. But I've said it time and time again. I don't care if the rematch happens or not. I'd love to see Boots and Terence Crawford fight. But realistically, there might be more money. There's probably going to be more money in Terence Crawford fighting Errol Spence for the second time than there would Jaron Ennis fighting Terence Crawford. I think that even though Boots and Terence Crawford's probably going to be a more competitive fight than Spence and Crawford Part 2, Terence Crawford's going to make more money with Spence in the rematch, I think, because Spence has a bigger fan base. He's more established, and a lot of Spence fans are going to be very hopeful and optimistic about him turning the tide against Terence Crawford in a rematch. Even though I don't see it happening, I think that Errol Spence can definitely make the fight more interesting. It's all about money, guys. Let's be real. The reason why Terence Crawford and Jaron Ennis aren't going to fight is because if you guys don't think people know who Errol Spence and Terence Crawford are, you think they know who Jaron Ennis is? Take the boxing world out of it. I'm talking, people walking randomly on the street. You take him and you ask him, hey, do you know who Boots Ennis is? They're going to say no. And this is no disrespect towards Boots. He's going to get to that point, but it's just not right now. He's only getting bigger. He's growing. He's evolving into that star. But we have to see him against, better opposition. We need to see him against guys like Virgil, Stanionis. There are other contenders at 47 that I think I need to see Boots against. You could even put him against Mean Machine if you want. But there's still other guys that he has to beat in order to get that hype that would make a Spence fight or make a Terence Crawford fight very interesting for Boots Ennis. And you want to make a lot of money. If you're going to fight a guy like Terence and you're going to fight a guy like Spence, you're probably going to be the B side, unless you get that Crawford fight first, which I don't think he will. I just don't see it happening because it's just such a risky fight for Crawford. Why not go fight Spence? His confidence is probably through the roof. Why would I fight Boots Ennis for less money, higher risk, when I can just go get Spence again? Not saying that Errol Spence is going to be an easy fight in the rematch. I think it'll be different, especially if it's at 54. But to go back and fight Jaron Ennis, who isn't that well known, who hasn't really established himself in the welterweight division. Everybody has their eyes on Jaron Ennis, but in terms of resume, no one really knows anyone he's fought. Let's be real. You gotta work your way up. That's just my opinion. I know the fight's gonna be entertaining. I know that Jaron Ennis, if he gets in the ring with Terence Crawford right now, could give him a lot of trouble, maybe even beat him. But at the end of the day, it's a business. That fight's not gonna happen anytime soon. I promise you guys. If Terence Crawford wants to make the fight happen, I just don't see his management. I don't see the people around him advising him to take that fight. I think the big fight for Terence Crawford right now is to go up and fight Canelo, to be real. I think that's the big money fight for Terence Crawford. Even though I love Boots Ennis, I'm telling you, he's the future of the welterweight division. Let me tell you right now, once Spence and Crawford eventually get out of the welterweight division, Boots is that guy. But until then, Crawford's going to be that shot caller, and it's kind of unfortunate that Boots has to wait. And the whole division, the welterweight division, everybody contending for a title, everything's going to be put on hold. But that's been the sport of boxing. That's just how it works. There's so many titles. Once the titles are unified, you got to wait your turn to get involved, get your shot at contending for a title and competing for a title, get a title shot. So it's not easy, and as good as Boots is, as talented as he is, I don't think that he's deserving of the fight right now. just because of the marketing standpoint. It doesn't have to do with his skills, but boxing is a business, and they're going to make that fight when it's the most lucrative and when they can get a financial outcome from it, a big one in that case. But now's not the time. I just don't think it's fair for Crawford to be stripped, especially because, you know, he just put on the biggest fight of his life, the biggest and best performance and most dominating performance against a really credible opponent, you know. So I'd like to see Boots and Crawford, don't get me wrong. I just don't think now's the time. But let me know in the comments what you guys think about Terence Crawford being stripped of his IBF title, and now the title is Drawn Boots Ennis, even though it belongs to Drawn Boots Ennis, even though they haven't fought for it, you know. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace. That's going to do it for another Naz Fight Media video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy, Matt Nabong, with another video. Hope you guys enjoyed it all. Thank you guys for the constant support. Salute to y'all always. It's been your boy.